This time on Neat Old Stuff, we're going to talk about homemade trailers using old V8 Ford parts. Let's take a look. So I just saved this trailer off of Facebook Marketplace. I bought it for $40, and it's the typical make it on the farm back in the day trailer. The thing that makes this one special is it's using a 36 Ford rear axle and wishbones to make the axle for the trailer. Now usually you'll see these and they'll use a front axle and they'll weld the steering arm straight because there's less weight there and all that. This one's a little bit different because it uses a rear axle. I have a straight axle example here. Let me show you that real fast. Right here under this pickup box we've got a straight axle example of a homemade frame. It's got parallel leaf springs, but it's using a 37 to 38 Ford front axle with the spindles welded straight, and somebody put some parallel leaves on it. But this is how I usually see them, using the Ford front axle with the welded spindles. Here's another example here. This is another 37 to 38 front axle, and you can see the steering arms there, the round back spindles where they've welded with a stick welder the kingpins to the axle so it can't steer. This one's also been set up on parallel leaves. Over here under this dump bed, I have another example of a homemade frame using old Ford parts. This is a homemade hay wagon, and he uses Model A frame sections and axles. It's got two front axles. The rear one is welded up and the front one steers with a drawbar. But as you can see, they've welded up the steering and it steers the front axle. But the axle with this upside down frown is the Model A axle upside down. So back to this unit, it's still sporting the 36 Ford wide 5 wheels. It's got a hubcap and trim ring on this side. The other side is missing the hubcap and the trim ring, but you can see what I mean by wide 5 wheels. There's a large bolt pattern. The brake drum is actually part of the hub, and the wheel bolts onto there. Over here is an example of the wide 5 wheel. I'm going to throw these on this trailer because they hold air, but you'll see the wide center pattern, and this one has got a nice little old truck tire on it with a Porta-Wall add-on white wall here. This one, the date code on it is 1939 over here. They made these wheels from 1936 to 1939. And this is a nice example here. I'm just going to bolt them onto this trailer for rollers because both these wheels are rusted and the tires do not hold air. So the one thing that got me excited about this trailer is, first of all, the rear axle is upside down. Normally these wishbones would be on the bottom, and they call it a wishbone because if you look and see, it's like a wishbone in a turkey. And the front of the solid drive shaft is here, this pivot underneath the tongue. This would bolt onto the transmission, and you'd have a transverse spring in the back, and it would make a triangle that would pivot. And actually, they handled the rough terrain from the early roads very well. If we look back here, you can see over here and over here where the spring would have bolted on. These are spring shackles. This, like I said, this rear end is upside down. This is a 1936, 1 year only, that has this cast part of the wishbone that mounts to the axle. These are the ones that everybody wants for hot rod conversions because you can make a bracket to bolt on here, and you can use these to attach any rear end in an early Ford hot rod. They work really well. So this is a really good score because it has it has the 36 wishbones. And also inside this tube, there is a double torpedo shaped drive shaft inside this outer tube. And if you cut it in half, you can turn it into open headers for an early style hot rod. 1936 was the only year they had that double torpedo shaped inner drive shaft. So you'll find trailers like this on old farms, around old homesteads from back in the day. I got this one off Facebook Marketplace. A guy has a cleanup company, and somebody had thrown it in the dumpster, and he pulled it out, thought it was too cool to scrap, and I went and I just randomly happened to be looking for trailer parts for my friend, and I came across it, immediately recognized the Ford Banjo rear end, and drove down and bought it for $40. Saved it, and I'm just going to keep up my stash of early Ford trailer parts. Neat old stuff you don't see every day. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, I'm putting out Neat Old Stuff videos in addition to my other channel videos. Neat Old Stuff will be every Saturday. And remember, if you find neat old stuff, don't trash it, stash it. Save it for later.